Alright, welcome everyone to my IDC 46 tournament report. In this video I will cover the deck I brought to IDC 46 as well as each individual match and conclusion at the end. So without further ado, let's talk about this. So this was the Hydro Hurricane build I brought this time, and right off the bat the card that probably jumps out to most of you is the 2 Ghost Touches, and the fact that Ice Vapor is nowhere to be seen anymore. And that's because after the previous IDC cycle ended after IDC 45, I spent quite a bit of time testing different hydro builds against the usual suspects like Rush, Boss, Light Dark Nature Control, Fortress, a bit of Deck Out, a bit of Water Fire aggro. So upon testing so many versions with that still had Ice Vapor in them, I came to realize more and more that Ice Vapor was quite ineffective in Hydro Hurricane. The only deck it really did something against was Fortress, because it tends to run a heavy spell package, and if you manage to stick on Ice Vapor, it can really stifle their game plan. But against everything else, including Light Water Dark Fire Deck Out, I was not very pleased with how it performed, especially if the Deck Out deck runs, well, every Deck Out deck runs 4/Charger, but if they also run 4 Volcano Chargers, which I personally believe every Light Water Dark Fire Deck Out should be running, Ice Vapor all of a sudden becomes hit and miss. I even tested a version with 3 Ice Vapors just to prove in my head that it's not that good, and I was proven right after 5 matches with 3 Ice Vapors, mind you, against the Light Water Dark Fire Deck Out. I lost all 5 of them, and because what tends to happen is, if you do manage to see Ice Vapor, they can just play Volcano Charger. They don't really lose the mana from that, because Volcano Charger gives them a mana. So the only real loss there is 1 extra card in hand, which they probably don't mind too much. And then they can simply just flush all your remaining Ice Vapors from the deck, and then they're usually in a very good position from there and just keep answering everything you try to play. And again, even against Fortress, the fact that Hydro is not running turn 3 ramp really cuts down on the effectiveness of Ice Vapor, so you get it down on turn 5, and then by that point Fortress has sometimes drawn either a few cards with Energy Stream already, or they ramped quite a bit, which puts them in a position to cast Miraculous Plague by the time you play your Ice Vapor, which, yeah, they do have to pay the tax, but then you go to 3 mana, so you can't even resummon the Ice Vapor next turn. So it's kinda awkward even against Fortress. So because of, not to mention against fire controls like Boss and Rebirth, there's Volcano Charger for 1, and then there's Rebirth, which just pretty much neutralizes the effect. And even if they don't see those spells, they can simply play creatures, ramp with Sky Sword, or play a Boss to look for a mass removal or a Rebirth. Pretty much kill not just the Ice Vapor, but whatever other creature you stuck to the field. with the ice vapor essentially kind of neutralizing any kind of advantage that ice vapor would provide you otherwise. So those were the reasons. Now, ice vapor can actually be quite effective in a deck like Dark Nature, for example, where they have so much turn 3 ramp, and also creature searchers like Dimension Gates or Charmilia, so they can see it more often and they can ramp into it, so there the effectiveness is a lot better, especially against Fortress, where it pretty much shuts them down because of how consistently they see it and how fast they can stick it onto the field. But in this deck I just found it's not that effective. So I was looking for alternatives. So at first I went with 2 cranium clamps instead, but there's already Gigabalza, and Gigazal kinda does the same job but better, because it's also a threat, like I said before. It demands an answer by itself. And then I thought Ghost Touch, and I played it, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised of how it performed, because the fact that it's a shield trigger makes the deck even more resilient against Rush than it already was, because there's something else you can play on turn 2 if you don't see this stuff here, or you can get it out of the shields. Maybe you just snipe a Speed Attacker or a Volcanic Arrows for free, just like that. And it really helped the deck actually against Water Fire aggro, was these kinds of low to the ground heavy blocker hate decks with, tempo cards, Spiral Gate, Unicorn Fish, Rikabu, Screwdriver, Paladin, because now you don't just have Miraculous Snares to fight those decks, you also have early discard to kind of stifle them, so you don't have to just play blockers that will eventually just get bounced. You can just disrupt them in other ways, like this Ghost Touch or Miraculous Snare or Gigabalza, so there's more ways to, and it really turned that matchup in my favor quite heavily, I would say. So I was really pleased with how it did there. And even against Control, like Lamp is a bit much when in a package that in a build which runs the camera package already at full copies. By the way, I did the 4th Gigaslug. Because it's an extra 4-drop you can play after Gigaslug, but most of the time you don't really get to play Clam because Gigazal just does the job, and usually there's maybe one extra card left, which is why Ghost Touch fits a little bit better, because Ghost Touch can be like an extra thing that you play to curve into Gigazal. So like you can have Slug, Gigabalza, Gigazal, or you can have Ghost Touch, Gigabalza, Gigazal, Marauz, Gigabalza, Gigazal. You get the picture. Or this one is not as good like Ghost Touch, Gigaslug, Gigazal, but it's still it has its advantages, because for example it can survive early removal like Snare, so because it's not a body like Gigaslug. But yeah, I mean, it's not that bad against Control either, because you play Gigazalt. If Gigazal wasn't here, then yeah, the Clamp would definitely be mandatory at that point. But because Gigazal tends to leave them on less cards than it's worth clamping, Ghost Touch just tends to fit like a glove. And also you can just sometimes snipe these turn 3 ramp cards, which if it's their only one, it can be actually game winning at sometimes because of that. So the lower curves can have its benefits, especially if against these turbo burn decks, which they don't appear often, but when they do, you really want to have something like this to counter them. And it's actually going to pay off in this IDC, spoiler alert. Now the 4th Giga Slag, like I said previously, that was something I really needed to add, especially in a 45 card build. I really needed to have 8 Chimera Baits with all these draw power cards just to see Gigazalt on curve more often, and I think this is right. It felt right at least. And then I think I also, I took out a Terror Pit as well, because Terror Pit, it's most of the time you will not be hard casting Terror Pit when it matters, because it's 6 mana and again you don't have ramp. It's good out of shields, but against aggro, but that's pretty much it. I still keep it in because it's nice to have removal like Snare for threats. But yeah, it's mainly good out of shields in this deck or mid to late game, when you do have mana for it to remove like a Photoside or another Mysterious or whatnot, or a blocker that stands in the way. And in a way, a Ghost Touch can be sort of a Terror Pit if you think about it, because it's a 1-for-1, and if the opponent is not playing a lot of draw power with water, it can really stifle them even more than Terror Pit sometimes. And then I put Faliga in because I felt the deck, especially after removing 2 attacking creatures in Ice Vapor, I needed to have an extra attacking creature just to have more offensive power in the late game. And yeah, it's pretty good. You can get back energy stream to keep drawing cards. So yeah, this is the build. Now, without further ado, let's jump straight into the matches. Right, so the first match was up against Hiwatari, who was piloting Fire Nature aggro build with 44 cards. Very similar to Fire Nature Rush, but he added cards like Searing Wave, Bark Whip. I don't know what else he added, but yeah, he made a Rikabu Screwdriver, so I don't know why you would want to run more than 40 cards in a fast aggro deck. So yeah, pretty much worse Fire Nature Rush. And I have an Energy Stream, followed it up with Giga Balza sniping Volcanic Arrows. And I can use this Giga Balza to trade into the Screwdriver next turn. He's gonna take out 2 shields. I'm gonna get another Giga Balza sniping another Volcanic Arrows. Okay. Then he's just going to break into my 1 Terror Pit, which I'm going to use to kill the Pyrofighter. And here the best play is to either play Petrova or to play Gigasalt, because then I have Gigasalt on the play, which can discard. So I just have to hope he doesn't summon a Speed Attacker here. He has a Hearty Cap on Polygon in hand, which he can summon, and the fact that he didn't play anything there tells me he might be holding onto a removal. So, okay, I just decided to play 2 Giga Slugs. Oh yeah, he's added bronze and tribes to the deck. Don't know why, maybe because of the searing waves. So here I just with my Mystrias, take a Marrows, draw a card. And now every time he does play a card, I can just keep drawing. It's gonna smash the Power Equip into a Giga Slug, which is gonna send it to the graveyard. Now I can just play some light creatures, even set up the Giga Salt in case he has a Spear Attacker. At this point, I can just play Ulysses, bounce literally everything and go in. That's pretty much the first game, so yeah. Oh yeah, I remember he also told me he is only running 3 Deadly Fighters, which I found to be so odd. In a 44 card aggro list, you cut 1 Deadly Fighter, so I don't know what he was doing when he was building this deck. So yeah, he summons Quixotic, I respond with a Laura Giga, which I can use. He was a sniping Mosquito, Snare plus Laura Giga allows me to get rid of both of his creatures without losing one of my creatures. I summoned in Gonta here. I think I played Ghost Touch, which got rid of a Searing Wave, which was actually pretty good because he could have used it next turn. I got pretty lucky having that Terror Pit in the shield again, so I got rid of the other Gonta. So I'm just gonna play Petrova, boosting Guardians, running over the Gonta. There's a Peekaboo Screwdriver here. At this point, I'm just gonna run out the Paleoliths and the Giga Pulsa. If it destroys it with Screwdriver, I don't mind because I can just kill it next turn. There's the Pyrofighter Magnus, which I can discard with the Giga Salt. I can just kill that, discard, and then even giving back the Bronze Tribe I snared earlier to discard it as well. Relics for Hydro. I can just bounce everything again, going for shields. And at this point it's GG. I won 2-0. Pretty lucky to have those. The one Terror Pit in the shields both games, but even without it I probably would have won at least game 2. So yeah, that was the first match. Now we're on to the second. Alright, the second match was up against MrBazat, who was piloting a new deck which hasn't been played before. It's a Fire Nature Turbo Burn list with turn 2 ramp, and here's the Ghost Touch, which disrupts his Reap and Sow, which is really good against this deck, which doesn't really have much ramp, much draw power, and just tries to burn your mana. Yeah, he's trying to burn the mana with Mana Crisis, Crisis Boulder, Reap and Sow, playing Fairy Life, Essence Self, Poisonous Mushroom, just to get out those 4 mana burn cards on turn 3 most of the time. There's the Reap and Sow, so at this point I just keep charging, playing Giga Barza, and I just keep charging until I manage to summon a Mystrias, which I do, and at this point with Mystrias on the field, it's not looking good for him. I can even play Petrova, boost Guardians, and at this point it's GG because he doesn't, he's only drawing 1 card at a time. Meanwhile I'm gonna be snowballing the game with all those Mystrias draws. Oh, he's even playing a Sky Crusher, the Agitator, which is a creature that taps, and every time it taps both players have to burn 1 mana. He has a Essential follows it up with Crisis Boulder. He's even going for shields at this point, and it's too bad my Gearbalsas are not in shields, because if they were, this would be punished quite heavily. So, but he thought it's best to just go in now. And now he has a Sky Crusher. And I don't really have answers to this, because he can just keep me from here on, he can just keep me on 1 mana. And I just concede because there's no out to that. Now we move on to the final game. It looks like I'm gonna be having a Laura Giga, and he tried to play Mushroom with fire and water mana, and yeah, it was a mistake on his part. So at this point I can just put so many blockers on the field, and I'm just gonna keep ramping mana and hope to reach enough mana for Petrova, at which point it's gonna be here I decide to even play Gearbalsa just to discard whatever he's holding, and he stopped decking a Balsa. Oh, he has some bad top decks in the deck. At this point I have 3 Mystrias, so I'm gonna be snowballing the game from this point onwards. I don't know what he drew that he's thinking for so long. Maybe he's thinking if he wants to summon a creature to make me deck out. Okay, he drew a Soul Swap. Oh, I see, so he's playing Soul Swap to put Aqua Deformer on the... yeah, for Aqua Deformer, so at this point I can just play the Ghost Touch to take out that Balsa Dragon from his hand. So I can just casually ramp back. And he's saying it's GG because he's not running Burshot in his build, so at any point I can just go for game when I decide to. So yeah, that was those Ghost Touches really paid off against the Turbo Burn deck. So far we're up 2 matches, we're going to the 3rd match, so I'll see you there. Alright, the 3rd match was up against Diffindo, which was piloting Lightwater Dark Nature Fortress, no Fortress, Bonanza 60 card deck, which is a really bad matchup for me. If manages to resolve Bonanza or stick Bliss Totem, it's pretty much GG. My best bet is to disrupt him early with early discard Gearzald and stick my Mystrias, but he's had everything. He's had turn 3 Frozen Tribe, he's had Energy Stream, he has Mystrias of his own. Discard, what do I discard? Snare and Fortress. He's charging Plague, so he doesn't have Darkness mana. Tapping 5, I'm not sure. Okay, that's another Mystrias. At this point I kinda have to bounce one of them with Gearzald. I do manage to discard it, but he throws into a Plague, which gets rid of the Mystrias, and can't really play my own Mystrias while he has his Mystrias on the field. But of course it doesn't matter, because yeah, I play Mystrias, Lauragia and Belix, but he managed to stick Bliss Totem, and at this point he's gonna have so much mana. that Hydro Hurricane will pretty much lose most of its effectiveness. And at this point I can probably just scoop. It's gonna have all the mana in the world. And he's also playing Mystic Dreamscape, so at that point, my only bet now is to play a lot of creatures, try to build some mass. We'll go for shields, but even with Mystrias, he has so much top deck quality with soul swaps and or Mystic Dreamscape, which he just top decked now, which is probably the perfect card here. Now he can just keep spamming Miraculous Plagues. Not just one, but two Miraculous Plagues at the same time. Yeah, he can even go for shields at this point. And yeah, it's pretty much GG. As soon as he managed to stick that list totem, it was pretty much over. He has Frozen Tribe again. I don't think he's playing Slash Charger, so that was pretty unlucky for me. And I sniped his Lost Soul with Ghost Touch, but yeah, he held the second one. So that was also just great. I get to stick play a Mystrias, not sure about sticking, because he immediately answered it with a snare from Mystic Dreamscape. I play my own Mystrias, but of course he played his own first, which means my Mystrias is gonna give him a draw. And I do manage to get rid of his Mystrias, but at this point he's picked up something good with Faliga. He's playing Plague, and this Plague pretty much signifies game over for me, I think. He does play a Mystrias, which I can answer now with a Terror Pit, but Surfer bouncing his own. Bouncing his own Faliga, which he can... Oh, he even has another Mystrias with Sky Sword on top of that. And I discard his Gigabalza. Yeah, I was surprised that he saw so many Mystrias before me, and also Frozen Tribe on turn 3 every time. I think he's playing 60 cards. So yeah, he had an opportunity to go in with creatures, and he took out most of my shields in playing Miraculous Plague and just go for game. And yeah, that was just brutal. Nothing I could really do against that. So yeah, so far I'm up 2 matches and down 1 match, and see you on the next one. Alright, now we're on to the 4th game, where I'm playing against Bani, who is piloting a Light Water Dark Fire Cosmic Darts control. The idea of this deck is to play Cosmic Darts with not with invincible spells, but rather with good stuff spells like Lost Soul, Miraculous Plague, I think no Ripple, so Snare, Terror Pit, Apocalypse Vibes and whatnot. But yeah, I do have a Gigazalt and a Releases to boost it, which gets rid of Miraculous Snare, but has Terror Pit for it. I get to stick a Petrova. I think I'm boosting Guardians with it. And at this point I'm sticking a Mystrias. The fact that he charged Volcano Charger, it doesn't matter because I have Paralysis, so he couldn't use it anyway. I played some Chimeras to draw some cards. I get to stick a Gigazalt again, and I forget here to discard his card in hand. He's playing Mystic Cosmic Darts, I mean, which breaks into a Cosmic Darts, and then he has Plague Arrow Shields. And he was unfortunate that I forgot to discard his card in hand. I'm even asking him, wait, did I actually forget to discard you? And he says, yeah. And I'm playing Gizal because I have 2 Miraculous Plagues in hand, which I plan to use. Playing Cyforce, getting back Snare, putting Ulysses. I accept the block from Bolmitius. But he used the new feature of Bolmitius, which allows you to just select the shields and use the effect to automatically put the shield into the graveyard, but I could have chosen to block. Fortunately I didn't, so I take him off of water and light with Miraculous Plague and Gizal. And at this point I'm setting his mana even lower. I'm just gonna play Faliga, Paralysis, and just start spamming Plague, so he just concedes. Yeah, we're on to the second game, where he's going first again. Doesn't see a Cosmic Darts yet. Okay, he top-decked it just now. And it gave him Miraculous Snare. Oh yeah, and I think the Cosmic Darts effect is mandatory, so if it's a spell you must play it. I do have a mystery, but he has an answer for it in the form of Miraculous Snare. Playing Petrova here, boosting Guardians. I think 7, I'm not sure if that's a Lost Soul or a Miraculous Plague. It is a Miraculous Plague, so he's just trying to set me back a bit. And at this point I think, yeah, I'm just playing blockers just to protect the Petrova. Also because there was the possibility he's holding Lost Soul. This Ghost Touch snipes the Bolmitius, which is really nice. I am charging the Plague just to have beyond more mana as hiwatari, and I'm holding onto this Snare in case he plays Bolmitius. Now I do have Energy Stream, which I can play. Summon a Giga Slug as well. And he's 1 mana short. He's on 9 mana, so I'm not sure what 1 mana short of. He's playing Plague again. Probably, yeah, taking Giga Slug just because I want to have a bait for Gizal if I were to throw it. Playing Paralysis and Laura Giga. I decide to charge the Snare just to be on more mana, and I just keep top-decking blocker after blocker. No streams, no. Finally end up getting Gizal, where he has a Terror Pit for it. Yeah, he just keeps playing Terror Pits. He's gonna play Slash Charger. I'm not sure if he's probably going to go after. Yeah, he's going after Petrova, which makes sense. I'm gonna discard the Cosmic Darts, I mean, out of shields. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep breaking shields one by one with Gizal. Yeah, he's playing Cosmic Darts, and he has Mecha Dragon's Breath. And I kind of forget it's my own turn when he casted this Mecha Dragon, because usually Mecha Dragon is casted during the opponent turn, and if it was the opponent turn, Paralysis would boost to Petrova. But yeah, I'm just adjusting to the fact that Mecha Dragon is played during my turn, so yeah. Playing Apocalypse, and now he has a Eureka Charger, but then that only leads to a Bolmitius, so the Yeazal which survived I can use to end the game. So yeah, that was the 4th match. IDC 46, I'm up 3 matches and down 1, and I'll see you in the 5th round. Now we're on to the 5th game, where I am up against Garabon, who is piloting Light Nature Control, the same 48 card version that X-Boom played in CIDC. I play a Ghost Touch which discards Ice Vapor, and then I can follow things up with a Gigabalza which discards a Bronze Tribe. Fortunately for him, he did have Flash Chargers for ramp instead, and I can play Gigazald which discards a Belix. So all of these Gigazalds discarded everything but the Soul Swap, which is going to use, and he even top decks a Terror Pit for the Mistrias, which was quite unfortunate. I have to use a Snare here for the Ice Vapor, setting me back 1 mana, and he even top decks a Mistrias here, and he does a mistake setting some mana cards as shields. And I really need to get some I do end up getting Hydro, but he can just keep replaying the Mistrias. So yeah, it was quite unfortunate that although that triple discard didn't hit any removal card. I'm playing Energy Stream, trying to fish for some answers for Mistrias, and at this point he's building up so much advantage with that one Mistrias that kept surviving. Playing Gigazald, sniping Ikaz, but in 5 cards he's probably has a Soul Swap or a Terror Pit, which he uses on to get our Fortress, which was interesting, and even has a Terror Pit to get rid of the Gigazald. Gigaballs is gonna snipe Holio, but he has creatures now to generate more advantage, even mana burning me. And he's not looking good for me. That Mistrias just remains unanswered, which means he's just going to run away with the game at this point. Play Gigazal, discarding Morbid and Terror Pit. You can just trade a Fortress into the Gigazald, and at this point I'm just concede because I'm gonna deck out pretty quickly. Now we're on to game 3, where I'm setting up the Gigaslug for that Gigazald. He has the turn 3 run with Slash Charger, probably going after Mistrias, yep, and I don't see water mana for Energy Stream this game either. That's pretty unfortunate. I do run out Mistrias, so yeah, the answer for both the Gigazald and the Mistrias. But I do have a second Mistrias, fortunately, so I can play Emergency Typhoon and some Energy Stream, but he Lost Souls me. Now I play a Foul, playing more Energy Stream, and he's had a second Lost Soul, so he's been holding on to 2 Lost Souls since the beginning, he told me. So if I try to generate advantage, he can just loss all me. Too bad I didn't see GigaBalzas or Gigasalt during that time. Now I'm just playing Hydro to set him back a bit. And then I go in with Aliga even, because he has Ice Vapor set up, so trying to play Energy Stream top deck would be quite bad for me anyway, so that's why I opt to just attack now. It's my only option really. He's playing all these last chargers, going after all my attacking creatures which are left in the deck. Now I just and yeah, he didn't tap the correct mana for Sky Sword. And so he's playing Sky Sword and Ikas here. And I'm just playing creatures. Luckily, Guardians are boosted, so Mistrias could run over Ikas, but not anymore because he just boosted Soul Troopers with Atrova, and at this point, with all the slash charges he played, he probably got rid of all the answers which I could have left in the deck. So yeah, I lost the second game by deck out. Yeah, pretty unfortunate that my discards didn't hit any answer spells, and he always had 2 of them at least. So yeah, it is what it is. We're up 3 matches, down 2 matches, so we need to win the next one to have a chance at top 8. So I'll see you there. Alright, now we're into the final round of the tournament, round 6, where I'm up against GraveCorps, who is playing a light, dark, fire, nature control with 55 or 57 cards. I don't even know how many cards at this point. He keeps changing it, so. But yeah, I'm on the play here, so I'm looking to set up Gigaslag, Gigabalza, Gigazalt Curve here. Playing Belex, so he wants to set up a soul swap target for something, maybe for that Galek in the mana zone. Playing Logic Cube, so yeah, this is sped up 5 times, but it's still gonna take a while for him to search his deck, as it usually does when you play against him. Not sure if he has soul swap already. Yeah, he's getting soul swap, so I'm just gonna try to snipe it, and I do manage to snipe it. Unfortunately for me, I managed to get Gigazalt, discarding Meltdown and Ice Sword. Now he can just trade his Gigabarza into my own. I do top deck an Energy Stream, which is really nice, allowing me to dig deeper, find Mistrias a bit earlier. Unfortunately for me, top decks a Turpit. I have another Energy Stream, revealing Gigaslag, Palolysis and Miraculous Plague. Top decks a Slash Charger, which is going after my Mistrias. And I'm holding onto this Plague in case he plays something like Bolmitius or... yeah, Bolmitius or Mistrias, but he's playing Belix to get soul swap, so he can swap out for Galek and discard my Plague. At this point I'm still waiting for Mistrias top decking a Rip, so I do finally manage to evolve this Gigaslag into Gigazalt. And I'm going to play this GraveCorpseCharger because in the event I top deck Hydro or Plague, I can make a good use of that with 2 Darkness creatures on the field. I don't know what it top decks, but he's asking if I can use tap ability even if he has 0 cards in hand. So he's playing a Logic Cube. Soul Swap. Okay, he's playing Fortress. I managed to top deck a Mysterious at last. Unfortunately for me, he top decks a Belix for Barshot. And I don't even have mana for this Emergency Typhoon, so yeah, I'm just gonna charge that Gigazalt. Playing Slimeville, which is going to force my Gigazalt to attack a shield, unfortunately, which breaks into a Soul Swap. So that's going to allow him to play Galek and get rid of the Laura Giga and the Emergency Typhoon that I've been holding. And now he can use his Fortress to slam into the Gigazalt. I do end up getting another Mysterious, but he did get a Terror Pit from those top decks. Top decking his own Mysterious, for which I top deck my own Terror Pit, so at this point I don't even know why I play this Belix. Yeah, he's playing GraveCorpseCharger, getting back Mysterious, and GraveCorpseCharger is gonna snipe Apocalypse Vice, but he can draw more with Mysterious, and at this point it's GG for me because I don't have many attackers left in hand, and with him having Photosite on the field with Mysterious and Charmelia, it's pretty much over, so I'd rather be spared the extra time he takes to search stuff with Charmelia and whatnot. Here I have 2 Mysterious in hand, so I can set up this Palolysis. Hopefully he only has 1 answer for 1 Mysterious. I do end up risking it and charging Belix, but so long as I only have creatures in mana, it should be okay. Playing Logic Cube. Maybe he's looking for Clamp. Clamp would make sense here. Yeah, he's taking a time to look at his shields, and he did. And I'm not playing GraveCorpseCharger because the odds of sniping that clamp are too low, so I'm just gonna allow him to clamp me. And then I'm just gonna run out the 1 Mysterious I've held. He's playing Rip and Soul. GraveCorpseCharger is gonna draw me a card and discard a Lost Soul. Yeah, I don't know why he charged both Terror Pits there. I guess he had another one, and fortunately for me I top deck another Mysterious. He's playing Photosite here, so I can just snare it and then play Giga Slug. Draw another card. I do have the Gigazalt ready to evolve next turn. Charging the Bazagazil because I have Giga Slug on the field. He's playing Belix to play. Okay, I see, so I'm playing Miraculous Plague because I have to attack with these guys anyway. And he's destroying Bazagazil and moving Fortress back to his hand. He uses Soul Swap on my Mysterious to put Belix on the field. Just playing Photosite at this point. So I'm just gonna answer it with a Terror Pit because I don't want that sticking around. I'm not sure what he has in hand, but whatever it is, I'm gonna be discarding it next turn with Gigazalt if he doesn't answer it. Playing Belix for CorpseCharger, and I'm just gonna discard Rumbling Terrahorn and Belix from hand with the 2 Chimeras. He's just gonna run out another. Is the Photosite that he got back with GraveCorpseCharger. I'm gonna be discarding Belix again with Gigazalt, and now I'm just gonna boost Chimeras with Petrova and start to slowly hit the shields with the Chimeras just to press my advantage while I still can, because I only have... There's no Mystery-Ass in sight, so... Yeah, he's searching for an answer with Soul Swap with Logic Cube, and he gets Soul Swap. And then I top deck another Gigazalt. I'm just gonna keep taking out shields. Because I also attack because most of the Terror Pits are gone. A lot of the Soul Swaps, some of the Soul Swaps are gone at least. So I felt pretty confident breaking into these shields. So at this point, with 1 shield left, he's going to concede. So yeah, that was... it's 1-1, so we're on to the final game. It looks like I can play a Ghost Touch here, discarding Rip and Sow, which is quite a good hit, especially this early on. He has the turn 3 Bronze Arm and I have the turn 3 Energy Stream. He does have a Mystery-Ass, but thankfully I have a Miraculous Nerf for that. I'm gonna play Charmelia here. I'm gonna play GraveCorpseCharger to discard a Techno Totem. I'm gonna use the tap effect of Charmelia to find probably Mystery-Ass, I would imagine. But in any case, I'm gonna be running over that Charmelia with Gigazalt next turn. Yeah, he's taking time to check his shields as well. Okay, so he's getting Photosite, which is interesting. I would have taken Mystery-Ass if I was him. Okay, so he's just gonna play Terror Pit for that. And I'm just gonna discard his Photosite with GraveCorpseCharger. I do get a... Strange, he didn't play Burshot. I guess he wanted to keep his Soul Swap target in Bronze Tribe. Top decks a Soul Swap, which he can use to swap out my Gigazalt for Pyrolysis. Now I can run out a Mystery-Ass, play Petrova, play Gigaslag, and if this Mystery-Ass remains unanswered, I'm just gonna run away with the game. Playing Pyrolysis, Energy Stream, and another Energy Stream. Trying to fish for Hydro Hurricane. Playing Photosite here. And with 9 cards in deck, I think I wanna... Okay, so I'm playing Mystery-Ass and Gigaslag, discarding the Burshot with Ghost Touch, and then I'm just probably gonna play Faliga as well, just to have more attackers on the field next turn. Playing Dimension Gate here, probably getting a Sky Sword or something like that. Yeah, he's getting Sky Sword because he knows I'm gonna have to go in very soon. Probably gonna charge this Laura Giga just to play Miraculous Plague. Holding the Photosite. I give him back Blitz Totem and Bolmitius because they would be pretty slow. And for 5 mana I'm just gonna play Faliga to get back the Plague. I'm gonna break some shields with the Mystery-Asses and the Petrova. And he got burst shot, which is going to kill his Sky Sword and my Giga Slugs, but I don't mind because 3 of my Giga Swords are in mana and the other one is likely in shields or at the bottom of the deck. And if I do get another one, I still have the Gearbalza in hand. He's going to play Slash Charger here, probably getting rid of another attacker. Okay, discards Miraculous Plague. Thankfully, I have a Terror Pit for the other side, and even playing a Gigabalza just to have another attacking creature. And yeah, even if he played more blockers, I would have had the Plague in hand. So yeah, I'm taking this match 2-1, so I'm up 4 matches and down 2. And I'll see you at the end of the video. Right, so unfortunately we didn't make it to top cut because we lost out on tiebreakers, especially the points difference. What is the number of games we won minus the number of games we lost? Had I won 2-0 at the end of the day against GraveCorpse, I would have been on 3, which would have been above Mr. De La Serna because my Pujols was a bit higher than his. So had we won 2-0, we would have been the 8th slot in top 8, but that didn't happen. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm still happy with how the deck performed. It was just a shame of the bad matchup against Diffindo and the discard luck, well, or lack thereof against Garabon. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this version performed, to be honest. The only other thing I want to improve here is probably finding a way to add an extra water source to the deck. I've been thinking about blue marquees, and with the rise of Light Nature Control, blue marquees might actually be a good addition to this deck, because they're playing 1 Holy Oath, 4 Soulsaf, 4 Terror Pit, so pretty much you can make use of all those shield triggers. But yeah, I think this is definitely one of the better Zald Hydro builds I've ever done. There is an argument for taking out Emergency Typhoon for something that doesn't make you discard card like Brain Serum, because later in the game you kinda wanna hold it. Emergency Typhoon is a bit better in the early game, but Brain Serum might be better in the rest of the game because you get to keep both of those cards. But yeah, other than that, the build is pretty decent, I would say. Not much else to add here, other than the fact that MrBazat ended up winning this event with that Fire Nature Turbo Burn build because he faced mostly control decks, and he won against everyone in the top cut, and he won against everybody in the group stage as well, except for me. That's the main takeaway from this tournament. I was the only one who was able to defeat the person who managed to take away this tournament. But yeah, other than that, pretty happy with Ghost Touch, pretty happy with the ratios of the chimeras. I'm happy that they're all at max copies. I wanted to make 4 Gezalts working for a long time, and I think I'm getting pretty close to that. But yeah, thank you for watching. This has been my IDC 46 tournament report, and this was the build. And until next time, see ya.